as well. So those are just some of the things.
What about this question? And it's just a simple yes or no, but it'll probably put a good smile on your face. Do you think you would have done a lot of these initiatives if there wasn't a big push for green?
I think yes, just from the energy standpoint. It just comes down to dollars and cents.
Okay.
There's operating costs too. Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, whether it be natural gas, electricity, you know, water,
Right.
anything that we're naming. I mean, they are precious resources and we're paying for them.
Trick question, and I have to throw that one in.
Yeah.
Good question.
Do you think, you know, even in taking a look at this and seeing what's left over, it was very intriguing when Frank was talking about, you know, reusing the same thing a couple of times and then sourcing it out. Is there actual, like, a new revenue stream that could be potentially coming up within your facilities for, you know, you're reusing this, and then you can go sell it and you could give it to somebody else now and they can use it in a different way? Is there any of that you think, a new revenue stream coming in?
In our instance, we recycle the cardboards, the packaging materials, the plastics. As far as food product, that's really not a good thing.
Right.
We have a lot of waste, even though there are many sources for it. But it's penny on a dollar. Yes, there's always new ideas that are coming out there for something that you thought would just be wasteful before.
Mm-hmm. And that's what kind of intrigued me was hearing a couple of things. It's like, well, could that actually be a source of revenue where you could say, you know, here you go, but I'm going to be bringing in this amount of dollars, which is going to offset, you know, some of the expenditures that we want to be able to do.
It seemed from listening here that all of us agreed that we started with the low-hanging fruit because it was really the easiest, it was the fastest payback to put the dollar for the bigger projects down the line, for the bigger payback projects. At least we got the initial investment, the down payment is now in our pocket to get that little working money going to work.
It's a good way to show upper management that, hey, look what we're doing here. You get some okays for further projects.
Absolutely.
We received some revenue for our surgical devices recycling. You know, they kind of sharpen the tools and, you know, for the used oil from the kitchen. For cardboard, though, we don't have enough volume, and you have to bale it, you know, so it's ready for shipping. So we pay the disposal on a minimal fee, but then we don't have the revenue because we don't have enough volume, and you need the space to store your bales.
Okay. Any final words, gentlemen?
Thank you for inviting us for this
thank
opportunity.
you for spending the time today. I really appreciate you guys coming out, and it's very informative.
Certainly appreciate you being open and sharing what's going on within your operations. And what was very curious to me is to actually see and to hear the similarities and the differences. You both are in 3 different industries, and there are many commonalities. I hope it was a little surprising to you as it was to me. You know, I think it also shows that there's lots of flexibility that, you know, if you ever want to get out of the university environment, there's always healthcare, you know, other areas, because you're doing many of the same type of initiatives and have very similar goals. So thank you very much for sharing your knowledge with us today.
Thank you, Frank, for inviting us all. I've learned quite a bit here today, and I think back in our heads, but maybe I'll be the one to say it, it almost is as if we should continue this meeting and have some representatives from the other fields, because I think we're getting a little bit from each other here, and the more representation that we have in the other fields to take place would...
Your suggestion we do this again, is that what I'm hearing?
Of course.
All right, and maybe double the size,
Let's
get
open
three
the,
other
open the
groups.
Yeah.
field a little bit, and I think we've got a good format,
Absolutely,
and
be happy to.
That's a good suggestion, thank you.
that's what you brought me here.